Welcome to selfdiscoverymedia.com, where we discover the communities that are making a difference in the lives of others. Our self-discovery is something we are all making on our life's journey. Here you will find the people that will be your guidance, that will be your inspiration, that will be there for you in support on your journey of life. Do enjoy. Our next show is... Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another edition for the love of music right here on selfdiscoverymedia.com. I'm your host, Sarah Troy, and my guest today is Michael Mesey. As the go-to special show traveling drummer for Chuck Berry for many years, Michael Mesey had a blast creating explosive moments on the stage with the legendary musical pioneer all over the country. Yet one of his most cherished memories is a moment on a tour bus when Berry, who was listening to the blues tune, turned to him and said, "This is how I want us to play the blues, because when it's time to rock, you rock me. No, I mean, you really rock me." So we're going to get rocked today with Michael's music. We're going to close out with some of his music at the end, but he's written a lovely song called Together, featuring the searing emotional lead vocals of four-piece band American Greed. It's a hit on 2 influential international charts, reaching number 9 on the World Indie Music Chart, hitting 14 on the DRT Global Top 50 Rock Airline Chart, and it's rising and rising and rising wherever it goes. It has over 400,000 views on YouTube, and this was sent to me a couple of weeks ago, so I'm sure it's up even more since then. And in other words, people are listening to it. Why? Because they really do need to listen to it. There's a full-length album coming, and engineered by Malcolm Singer, and we're going to be listening to why this particular song, what's coming through for the next part of his life. You know, COVID obviously has put a huge big damper on performances. People are having to virtual perform, which is not the same thing as being in the room with the musicians, but we have to make do with what we have to make do with. So welcome to the show, Michael.
Well, thanks for having me.
Your song Together, which, you know, at the present moment, that's what we're saying to everyone in the world, isn't it? We don't need divide. You can have a different point of view. We can see things from different perspectives, but that doesn't mean we have to divide each other and be enemies. And coming together, and whether it's a heart of a loved one or just heart of the community, togetherness is really the only way we're going to get through anything in life, isn't it?
Well, yes, and so together seems to be what is going on around the world. I mean, everything in the world to now is about together.
Yes.
We all have someone we miss. We all have someone home alone. We all have someone that's out there on the front lines taking care of us, keeping us safe. And so, you know, that's basically what together is all about, you know, those that we miss and stuff. So,
yeah. And I think, you know, they say absent makes the heart grow fonder. And it certainly has put us in a different appreciation, not only of our loved ones that we may have taken for granted, but most certainly who are our heroes at the moment. And they are the frontline workers. They're the cashiers, the truck drivers, the janitors, you know, nurses and doctors, obviously. And for so long, we've pedestaled the CEOs and the big Fortune 500s. And when it comes down to it, it's the people that plow the land, you know,
yes.
that really are the people that are bringing us together. They're the common denominator. So a song like this, even for them at the present moment, is a gratitude song.
Well, and that's really what I felt like when I was writing it and when we recorded it. The heartfeltness of Dave's vocals, the arrangements by Matt, our guitar player. I meant the words were just about what we're talking about, but the music itself too just kind of rounded it all out. And just, you know, I really believe that Together is the song of our times we're living in.
Yeah.
I mean, and And I think if when you listen to it, you can hear that it's coming from our
Yeah,
hearts.
I've listened to it for a few times, and of course the video is lovely. You know, the way that's been put together
Um,
as well, which people can find on your show page. And as I said, we're going to close off with the song. Um, as you say, when you watch the video where you close your eyes and as you're singing, you know, all those people that you will wish you were with right now, or just as a community, how much stronger we are. You know, whether you believe in the vaccine or not, which is a whole total different story, the fact that all of these countries have come together to
yes,
collaborate together to put the vaccine on the table in 8 months, which normally takes God knows how many years,
right.
you know, just shows how impactful and powerful we can be together, collaborating together.
Well, I think you're explaining it much better than I do. Honestly, it's that's how we feel when we were doing it, and hopefully we can get out and perform it soon
Yeah.
too.
The thing about, you know, musician, you may have one musician that's extremely good, you know, the piano, the this and that, but I'm always referring to as individuals of what is our instrument in life. You know, our self-discovery
Right.
is what is our instrument, what is our gift to share. Learn how to play it, then find your orchestra. And, you know, you may be great at what you do, somebody else is great at what they do, but put it together. And,
Yes.
you know, that's when really the music starts, isn't it? Those harmonies, that passion and that heart coming together.
Well, and also, I get asked a lot of times about what should I do in my life with music and everything. And I tell everybody, get out of it what you get out of it,
Hmm.
what makes it special for you. You don't have to be on the road all the time
Yeah.
performing. You don't have to be a professional musician, but music does bring, I mean, it brings the world together.
Yes.
And so here we come back to, we say together all the
Hmm.
time. And
Yes.
so, so it is the song of our times. And I hope everybody gets something out of it.
Hmm. How long have you been a musician? When did you
Oh,
start?
well, I started when I was old enough to think about being a drummer.
The
And,
sticks, the wooden sticks on the
oh,
on the pots and pans.
and get in trouble in school for tapping on everything. Of course, yes. So for me, it's been a lifelong thing,
Hmm.
and I've been lucky enough to, at an early age, start performing with older musicians,
Mm.
recording. I mean, that's just all I've ever really wanted to do, and that's all I've done.
Hmm.
So, just I think being lucky to have been around the musicians I've been around, to been able to perform with them, and to be able to continue.
Yeah. I had an actor on last week. I had two actually. I had one that was starting out in the business, and the other one who actually came to it as a mature person, and is now fairly, you know, well entrenched in the business. And it's all very well to be a headliner, 20 million a movie, da 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 da, but to be a working actor, you know, is like a working musician because it's all about the gigs. You know, you booked
Right.
to this gig or that album or this spot, and it's not like a, you know, a reliant salary coming in. So to actually have had a career, you know, actually working at it, you know, I mean, living the dream, right? You know,
Right.
there aren't very many that can say that.
Well, there's always the ups and downs. There's
Mm.
always, I mean, at a young age, I went to tech school. I wanted to make sure I could eat
Yes.
and travel and play. And so, I've always kind of done both. So I've been lucky enough to perform and then travel and then be able to do everything I needed to do. I've been one of them ones that I can't sit around
Hmm.
very still or often. So, one way or the other, I have to keep busy. So I try to stay occupied. And but yeah, it's you have to keep looking out for that next um,
Yeah.
band, that next performance. Bands don't come along very often. I was really lucky to find these musicians. I mean, we've just added two new musicians for this project because we want to get ready to start performing
Hmm.
again. So being on shows like yours helps a lot,
Hmm.
and
Good.
it will help us a lot when we want to, when we can all get back out after COVID.
Yeah, because basically, I mean, you know, a lot of people go, I don't know what to do with this time. Well, this is the time to review, right? You
right.
know, it's the review and the renew, because we're not going to go back to normal, nor are we meant to. You know, one of these COVID reasons is that we've had to change our ways. And a lot of that is we need to look at ourselves more as a community together rather than I, me, myself.
Yes.
But it is a perfect time to really kind of hone in on you, or brush up, or meet new people and collaborate. So it's a wonderful time of seeding, isn't it?
Well, and ever since COVID started, I knew I was going to lose my mind if I had to
Yes.
sit at home and do nothing. so so I immediately um, looked at the song together, and I thought, man, I need to put a video together with all this.
Mm,
And the other thing was, is we didn't really know how long this was going to last.
right.
Was this going to be something we would catch right away and hopefully get rid of right away and all
Hmm.
that? So, but I did want to go in and make a video, and I went in a couple of days, and I just came up with researched online the images that were in my mind
Hmm.
to piece together with the words. And so in a couple of days, we put that together and put it out, and everything started evolving from that.
Yeah.
It started getting a lot of attention. The song started getting a lot of attention. I met with some different, actually, a PR guy in Canada, in Montreal, and in New York, that helped me get a little bit started.
Hmm.
Then I met Stephen Wrench, the radio plugger, who helped me get this out worldwide on radio. So it all started evolving from that video and the attention that we were getting from it. So I've stayed on this
Hmm.
as being locked up
Yeah.
and doing everything since then to keep continue this.
Well, when you've got something that speaks to the world, something that it can become kind of their anthem, which is really where it's going. Um, Nothing is a waste of time. Even sometimes just sitting still and doing nothing is not a waste of time, um, because it's reflection time. We have
Right.
to go in, into ourselves to know what to bring out. And that time of, inspiration or like desperation, right? I mean, the greatest innovations in the world have come from desperation,
Right.
necessity. So in a way, the music has too, right? The song
Yeah.
has, because of the desperation that the people are feeling right now.
Right. And when I wrote it and we recorded it, we had no idea we would
Mm,
be going through these times.
mm,
And it's pretty wild how emotions and song words and lyrics
mm.
can come true through all kinds of stuff, just like this. So I'm personally, proud of what the guys have done and what we have done, and really excited that and heartfelt that everybody is feeling
Yeah,
the music that we're
attached to
putting out
it.
there.
Yeah,
Yes,
you're
yeah,
singing my song.
well,
It's the,
right.
when 9/11 happened. Ah, God, I had a name there right now, and she sang "No More Drama." What's her name? It's gone. It will come to me later.
Right.
But the thing is, the song,
Right.
was about the times, and this is why certain songs really just, capture people, because it doesn't matter where they're at or who they are. It's one of those things that speaks to your situation, right?
Well, yes, and I'll tell you what, just people listening to the song. I mean, there's nothing more fulfilling in the music than to be able to write a song, record a song,
Hmm.
and to have just people talk about it, listen to it, and feel it. I mean, I've been doing this my whole life, and to have something like that, it's hard to explain. It's very fulfilling. I'm just, yeah, hard to say what it just fills you, you know.
And it came out of you being forced to be in. Would this song have come out if you'd been on the road, doing what you're usually doing, playing to a different type of crowd? Sometimes, that lockdown, and that forced to, oops, lost you.
Oh,
Yeah, lost you there. Bring your mug back.
oh, oh, what
Okay.
happened here?
You just click on your camera and bring yourself back.
Right, it took me out though. Um,
Okay,
Oh,
folks, we had a wonderful drop. That's technology for you. You know, we've had to do things online now because we know obviously we aren't being able to get together. And, you know, Zoom and platforms like it have just been an incredible opening. And there are many
yes.
performers who are performing each from their own domain, you know, together and creating whatever music they can. Have you had to do that yet, or are you going to do that?
Well, mentioning I'm old school, I'd much rather be out there performing live.
Yeah, yeah,
But yes, we are working on a live worldwide streaming concert,
great.
hopefully in the end of March or April.
Mm.
So we are working on that. We have been rehearsing for that. So we want to put on a live streaming concert worldwide. And we are doing some national TV, which we'll be doing in the studio, but camera to Zoom to
Yep.
live to
Yes.
tape. So yes, we are working on all of that, and we'll be doing a bunch of it.
Good. I mean, this is the thing is that just because you can't do one thing doesn't mean that you can't adjust and pivot and go and do something else.
I am learning.
Right. I mean, you know, you would love to have the live audience. People would prefer to be in the audience.
Right.
But, you know, the thing is the times are the times. In order to get through them quickly enough, we need to comply and come together and realize that there's different ways of connecting with one another. But in it, it opens up to the world even more. So people that maybe didn't see you because you only
Right.
did ABC, now all of a sudden the world is finding you because it's taken away all the borders and the barriers, which is very exciting, a whole new audience.
I get to talk to you right now.
Exactly, in Canada
Yeah,
here, right?
exactly. Right.
So, you know, there's always benefits to something if we're willing to look for it. So right now you've got this song, which is obviously opening up the hearts. You're creating an album. You've got this whole worldwide thing going on right now. But who have been your influences growing up? Who are the people that you go, oh, I can listen to this person all day?
Well, and I get asked that a lot. I haven't had a lot of influences. I was young. I started, my mom and dad listened to country. They
Mm.
listened to Elvis Presley. So there's rock and roll in there. And I just slowly started listening to, when I went into junior high, we had a classic rock station here and started listening to that. Had to put a band together right away.
Of course.
And then so I've been lucky enough to do the old rock and roll stuff with Chuck Berry.
Hmm.
Some of those tours had the Drifters, the Coasters,
Yes.
Chubby, Martha Reeves. Um, a lot of those. I got to tour with a lot of them. And then I
Fabulous.
went to classic rock with Head East, which is had a big hit, and they were with A&M Records. And then we did all the tours with, Sammy Hagar and Boston and Cheap Trick and REO and a lot of those bands. So, and then now I get to do this material with some guys that are a little younger, and they're toured with bands like Shinedown and stuff like that. So there's kind of the three eras. So I've been lucky enough to continue to play with all those type bands, and they've all been inspirational because I just really like music.
Mm. Yeah. And you know, the beauty of having all the generations is,
Right.
you know, music isn't just a young person's thing, although they think it is, and you know, it's only for them. Um, and when I've had some beautiful seasoned performers on, um, you know, saxophonists have been in the business for over 30 years and played with, you know, some of the greats. And it's for everybody they've played with, they've picked something up and
Mm-hmm.
that becomes part of the repertoire and the depth that you get from it. And you know, I don't care how great you are, and we have some brilliant young performers, the experience and the depth of longitude of, you know, lasting a long time in the business is, that's where we call the seasoning, isn't it? And you can't buy that, you can't create that, you can't download the app. It is something you have to earn through experience.
Yes, and it always gets me because I'm a drummer,
Mhm.
not a guitar player, not a piano player.
Mhm.
And when I was growing up, I had family members go, "Hey, play me a song,"
Mhm. Yeah.
just to give me trouble. So I enjoy that and writing. I mean,
Mm.
I've always come up with stuff, writing ideas, always writing them down. So it's been lucky to be able to do that.
Mm. You know, drummers don't always get the attention they need. I mean, you literally are keeping the beat of the song. I remember seeing Carlos Santana's live, and his drummer did an
Oh,
individual bit, and mesmerizing, just mesmerizing, you know, and you look at it and go like, how does he do it so fast and keep a beat? And this is something I think that a lot of the time drummers don't get the credit because they think it's just sticks on a drum. No, you know, you are the beat, the heartbeat of the number, and the speed of which you've got to do things, but the accuracy. You know, it's not an easy thing, isn't it?
well, endurance. I meant
Yeah.
if you go out there and you put your heart and soul into it and you play nonstop for 60 to 90 minutes,
Mm.
you walk off and it takes 15, 20, 30 minutes to come back down to earth.
Yes.
So, yeah. So, but you know, you can close your eyes and
Mm.
you can just play. And I meant the enjoyment of it. Um, Walking out on stage, you know, I meant whether it's a smaller crowd, but to walk out on stage in front of 20, 30, 50,
Mm.
60,000 people is something that it's you can't explain. It's just an overwhelming, heartfelt feeling. And then so when you get to close your eyes back there and
Mm.
just do your thing, it's an amazing thing to experience.
Ethoric.
That's awesome.
You know, that's what we kind of call, you know, the dimensional traveling. You're literally having an outer body experience, right? Because that's
Right.
what music does. It lifts us up outside of ourselves. You know, words of a song can direct us to the meaning of what it means to us, but the beat of a song, you know, the beat of a number is one of these things that literally we can match our own heartbeat to. Music is used in therapy all around the
Right.
world. For me, it's been a great therapy. If I've ever feel down, the headphones go on and I'm just listening to music. And sometimes it isn't the words, sometimes it is. But what I find is resetting my frequency, resetting my own
Right.
vibe. And so music is great to listen to and dance to and sing along with. But what is it doing to your internal? A great deal. It's doing so much for your psyche and well-beingness. So it's a therapeutic service that you're giving as well.
Well, whether you're out in the crowd enjoying it,
Mm-hmm.
or you're listening to it, or you're performing it, it you know it gives us all that what we need. I mean, it does for me.
Yeah.
I would lose my mind if I couldn't play or listen to music, or you know, it's I have to travel. I have to
Mm.
be out there experiencing it. I'm probably, I mean, I love everything about it. You
Yeah.
know, the traveling, the sound checks, the after, everything. It's just a great thing.
My mother was a stage actress, and then it came to doing radio or TV. TV was all right to a point, but radio, she had to be in a booth and just talking to imaginary things. And so I would go in the booth with her and mime the reaction
Wow.
because she needed an audience, right?
Right.
Um, I mean, there's being in the studio making music, it's great, you know, a lot of tuning and this and that, but that is nothing compared to the adrenaline and the energy of your audience. And my mum always used to say, which I think is very true, you perform differently according to your audience. So whatever the vibe of the audience is the kind of the way you're going to step into it. You can change that vibe along the way, but that's the initial way you're going to perform, isn't it?
Well, they are two different experiences and enjoyments. Recording is more work,
Yeah,
but it's still an enjoyment.
you're
I
right.
mean, the love of recording, it's just a completely different thing. It's more work. The live performance is enjoyment and physical. Yeah, you
Yes.
know, so it may be considered more work, but the enjoyment of seeing the crowd, the enjoyment of being part of the crowd is a whole different experience. But I love the recording part too. I can't ever wait to get in the studio and do the hard work and then get out and play. And
Well,
so
you're creative in the studio and then you share that creativity out with the audience.
yeah, and you're always going, oh, did we do that right? Or
Yeah.
let's do that again, right? Yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's really fun.
How much does the audience have an influence on the way you play?
Well, for me, everything. I mean, when you see them being a part of it,
Mm.
I meant, and then you can have good nights and you can have
Oh
bad
yeah,
nights,
yeah,
but just like anything, when you see people enjoying it, you can be having one of the worst nights possible, but they bring it out of you. I
yeah,
mean, you just see them and you're like, come on,
yes.
get in, get on it. So
Yeah, I think that when you love something, it doesn't matter if you're sick or if you're down or, whatever the feeling is, you're tapping into that energy of what you love to do, and it becomes like an automatic button, and you're there with it. And at the end of it, you go, well, I don't know what I felt at the beginning, but I sure don't feel it now. You know?
right. I had a broken wrist once, and the
What?
doctor had a cast on there, and I cut it off 2 weeks early so I could go play.
Oh my gosh.
And I told him I dropped it in the bathtub and it got it wet. I had to cut it off. So when you want to play, trust me, you go play. Now, was it the right thing to do? No, because it hurt. And
Yes.
I
And
and
you
it
probably
was
didn't even have like just a simple bandage to give yourself some
no,
strength.
but we do stupid things
Yes.
when
Yeah.
we want to perform.
Yeah. Yeah. And I can imagine you've had your fair share of dives.
Of dives.
Yes. Joints, places that, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yes, yes. Well, I meant, yes. But when you see those people getting into the
Mm,
music, I meant, we have places here where a lot of the musicians go play,
yeah.
and they're smaller places, and they can be some of the most fun too, because your friends,
Mm,
are there, and your people in your area are there. So yes, I've had my fair share, and I
mm,
love going there and jumping up and jamming.
right.
So
Oh, I think musicians jamming is just the most exciting because neither one is like, we're going to play this, we're going to play that. Somebody just starts playing and then somebody joins in. And,
right,
the beauty today of the camera is you can film it.
yes,
I had Robert Williams on, who was a Beach Boy for 3 years, and he was
mhm,
saying that he was watching the one of the main guys. Again, I'm full of loss of names today, but he was in the studio with him while he's playing the piano, and he said he just sat there, kind of euphoric, watching him create. And
right.
but it had been spent. The creative just had been spent, and that was it. It was never to be done again. And what we have today is the beauty where you feel something creative coming on, press record, right?
Right. Yes, there are a lot of videos on YouTube and this and that of these young artists
Mm,
that come up with this amazing stuff. I mean, I look at it and I go, holy mackerel. I mean, how many artists did we have when we were younger that we didn't get to see like that? It is a
yes.
whole new world, and it
Yeah.
is amazing to watch the talent that is out there, especially in a lot of these children and young artists and stuff like that. It makes me smile, as you can see, to be able to watch that stuff now.
Did you see the video of the little kid? I think he was 4 or 5, dad standing behind him playing the drums with an orchestra. It's on YouTube. It's
I, will have to
I
I'll
can't
have to
remember
check
what it's
it.
called, but he's a little kid, almost a toddler. And there he is with the drums,
Oh wow.
like lost, just gone into it. And the orchestra's playing with him, and he's just totally channeling. And
I
that has just been open to the divine energy, isn't it?
it is, and I
Yeah,
have seen some of those videos, like I said, with the young kids playing, and it's amazing what they can do. I mean, on all instruments. So
yeah.
yeah, it's pretty wild.
I think one of the beauties of the kids is that they do not let things get in the way. A lot of artists will be, am I going to be liked? Am I going to be booked? They're too
Right,
much in the head. And when you come at something through the heart, allow the soul to come through you, that's the reason why we called it soul music, because
right,
it came from the soul through the heart, and nothing can come, the soul can't come through a closed heart. It has to come through an open heart. And we get, I love watching the musical shows, the competitions. I love to see how people evolve. And you can have a perfect technical performance, all very nice. Then somebody comes out and performs that hasn't got the same technique, maybe a crack in the voice, but the emotion behind it, right? And
right. Well,
that's the thing that you get drawn into.
yeah. What about the kid that just won The Voice? I mean,
Yeah.
how amazing! I watch that stuff too because I love watching
Yeah.
performing,
Yes.
especially vocals. I may be a drummer, but boy, I in my mind I really love guitar.
Hmm.
To listen to vocals and the all the instruments. I like to direct. I like to produce.
Well, there's also been a fabulous show which I hope comes back. I think it stopped because of COVID. It was brought about by Adam Levine, and it was, the writing of a song. So an artist would go in there with a song that they've
Mhm.
written for a particular artist, and then they would choose which song they're going to do at the end of it. And you would see the process of song, words, lyrics like, coming
Right.
together. And it's just, we see the finished product, but to actually see how things are creatively put together and this person's got an ear for this and this person's got an ear for that. And when you see all that creativity come together, what it can make, I mean, I love
Right.
watching those things.
Yes, I'm with you. I do too.
It's creativity in process because we are inclined to take things for granted. We don't look at you being on the road, leaving family behind. It's
Right.
you're out there doing what you love, but family's at home doing what they have to do. And so there has to be a really good balance in the work and play of life, isn't there? Home
Yeah.
life, etc.
Yes. So, and that's really what brought together in my mind together. When I wrote together, it was really me sitting back thinking about missing someone at home,
Mm,
the people that miss someone at home. Um, a lot of times on holidays, Thanksgiving, stuff like that, we would be gone and I would miss my daughter,
yes.
and so it just started coming together in my mind about that, and that's how I really wrote it. It wasn't about what was going on. I wrote this a while back,
Mm-hmm.
and so and slowly put it together, and then we finally recorded it, and with Matt and Dave, and we sat down and put everything together with it.
Well, when things are meant to come together, they will,
Yeah, yes,
right?
it's hard to believe how many times we say together.
Yes.
So
The
uh,
theme of the whole thing.
right. I was telling the guys in New York and everything, I go, come on, guys, if we can't uh, take a song called Together, this song, heartfelt, with the guys that are in it, if you can't get that out there, we're never going to be able to get anything out there
No.
because it is everything right now. Forget the song, even just together, like you said, uniting,
Yes.
coming together, healing, and
Yes.
everything. So as much as I hope it helps with all of that, I hope we all get that.
Yeah. Um, I think we're hungry for it. We're so tired of fake news. I call it the CNN effect. Take a pimple, make it a volcanic eruption. We're tired of the hysteria. We're tired of the hate rhetoric. We're tired of COVID. We're tired of the uncertainty. We're all having to pivot and change in our lives. And for some people, that's easy. So some people, it isn't. It's
Right,
devastating. And the more support we have of each other, the better it is, because then we are, as I said, the orchestra is made up as individual performers, individual artists, but that orchestra is only as good as everyone coming together,
right.
right? So why can't we look at our communities like that?
Right. Well, and the other thing is we have a full CD. The actual CD is called Together. Most of our songs, I mean, just talking about what we're talking about and getting into a little bit of what we don't need politically and stuff.
Mm,
Um, all of our songs say something. I mean, I even have a song that I wrote that we recorded, Revolution, but
mm,
it's not the same kind of revolution.
right.
It's a revolution against lies.
Yes.
I mean, it's a revolution. You don't have to be on one side or the other. It's a
Mm,
revolution against lies. And so people were saying revolution may not be a good thing right now because of everything that happened on January 6th for us.
mm.
But there is nothing wrong with a revolution against lies.
And a
We
revolution doesn't mean violence,
right, exactly.
right? It means
It,
change.
yes. And so our other songs, if you don't mind, live in the dream.
Mm,
It's about getting out of what you have in life
mm,
right now, being happy with what you have, good memories, good or bad. That is living the dream,
mm.
you know, um, bigger than life. So you want to be bigger than life. It's just, Flesh and Blood. It's about politics and international politics, and that we're all brothers.
Yeah.
Flesh and blood, brother to me.
Mm.
So all of our songs really kind of say something, and that I'm kind of proud of that
Yeah.
because we're trying to bring. It's all relevant right now, more than any time ever. I think
I
for a
agree with you.
while.
Yeah. Oh,
So
and for a long while, change doesn't happen overnight. I think one
right,
of the reasons we were given COVID was because we needed to pause, to stop, to rethink, to review, to renew. We had to look at where we were in the world, and we were not in a good state of beingness. And so that whole pivoting our own lives, because it's not about somebody else's responsibility. There's three fingers pointing back at us. Each and every one of us are contributors to either the problem or the solution. And
right,
when you've got an album that you've got the song togetherness, which is the anthem, but you've got all the other songs which are the support, the how to, the where to direct, what needs to be addressed, how can we form this conversation. And that's
right.
really what music is, isn't it? Not only is it something you feel in your heart and soul that moves you, but you want it to provoke a conversation with each other, not an argument, conversation.
Right. Well, look at during the Vietnam War and stuff, all the artists
Yes.
that came out and came out with beautiful music,
Yes.
but it made us all think. So
Hmm.
so we need music, that's for sure.
Every year I have a word that is my word for the year, and this word is actionism. Activism is ranting and raging about something. Actionism is doing something about it.
Right.
And, again, it doesn't have to be the pitchfork. We're tired of the weaponry. We're tired of the violence. We want,
Right.
we want harmony. We want peace. We want to know that we can work together despite what color we are, what sex we are, what political or this or that, as a human being to a human being. How can we address each other in kindness and in love that can help one another?
Well, I'm with you on that, and I hope we can get there, that's for sure.
I think we're definitely on the right track. I was given a saying 3 years ago, the universe is going to shake us up, to wake us up, for us to step up, to change it up, and to grow up. And the
Right.
grow up is grow up out of our silly little tantrums, but also grow up in our frequency and our vibration.
Well,
What happens when you raise that music up to an etheric thing? Everybody's lifted up to a higher frequency of love. So we need to bring that frequency up higher, don't we?
right. Well, I keep saying with the song Together, what came to my mind was we need to come together, heal together, so we will be together.
Yes.
And that's what the song is about. We will be
Mm.
together. And I don't know what else more to say than that about together.
Yes. Well, the together is obviously the theme today. And it's also understanding that it doesn't matter, as I said, if you're the soloist or not, we all need each other. The other thing I think understanding is your album is very much like an invitation to people, right? It's a call to action, not to arms. Call to action of we need to do things differently with each other. We need to see each other differently. We need that revolution of what we feed, because what we feed and water is what grows. Stop feeding the hate. Stop feeding the divide. Start feeding the love and the kindness and the compassion and the collaboration with each other. And that will be what grows. So your album seems to be one of the steps to reach that togetherness.
Well, and what really just made me happy and was to hear you talk about the song the way you do and everything that you're bringing to it, and your conversation about it. I honestly just have a very grateful feeling that just you saying what you're saying is makes me feel really good.
Well, that's what it did for me. And I've listened to it to two or three times, and each time, it's sometimes you pick up on a different word, or there's a different statement, or there's a different piece in the music, and that's the beauty of music. You can listen to it over and over again, and each time it can ignite something else within you, which is
Well,
wonderful.
and it's so simple.
Yeah,
I mean, it honestly is a simple but heartfelt song.
yeah. Yeah, and I think in a lot of ways we've become a little soppy, which is nice. We're talking about love and kindness, but some people think, no, that is the very core and the foundation of where we should come from. And that don't look at it as something soppy. Look at it as the actual blood and oxygen within us. And that if we want it to grow, we've got to feed it.
Well, and talking about working together and everything, um, I am, really excited and proud to be working with the guys that I'm working with because you can tell. Well, it's hard to find a group of people that you can write something like this
Yeah.
with, record something like this with, and I really would, Matt Oran, our guitar player, Dave Farber, our singer. I mean, they give it everything because we had Johnny Neal from the Allman Brothers record on this with us.
Hmm.
We did add a new keyboard player, Stephen Winter, who has toured all over the world, and he's playing. And we have a bass player, Jeff Peterson, now with us. So the five of us together are in there rehearsing these songs, and it's just so much fun and amazing to work with them.
Yeah. No egos. Everybody coming together
Right, right, right.
for the message of the song, right? So each one of them bringing their own components to the dish.
Yeah, there is a lot of ego out there, but I think we're getting past the day of egos a little
Yes.
bit. I mean,
Yeah.
in the younger days, I mean, it was all about, rock and roll stars and
Yes.
coolness and, who could be out ego somebody else.
Right.
But I just feel today, maybe in the last 5 to 10 years or in the last few years, it's just people are really musicians.
Yeah.
I think you can see on TV, they're all really feeling that we need to get back to something true.
Yeah. Oh, I have to say, the voice, the band, oh my
Oh,
God, they are
right.
top notch. I mean, the diversity of songs that they have to play, with the
Right.
players, they don't get a lot of rehearsal time, but they are exceptional. And
Well,
what,
I'm sorry, good.
no, but I'm just saying what I love is when an artist turns around and acknowledges them. I mean, that's a
Right.
true artist to me. They know that the musicians made them sound good, and they turn around and acknowledge that. I always love that.
Yes. And we have a lot of, I mean, there's so much talent around the world. It's a shame that there is so much talent that doesn't get
Yeah, I
seen.
know.
But boy, there is. And I love watching all of it.
Music is a universal language. Whether you understand the words or not, the music itself can speak to you. And it is something that it doesn't matter if you're in lockdown or in a poor country, wherever you are in the world, music is something that, really speaks to the heart and soul of us. There was a wonderful movie put out 2006 or 7, August Rush. And it's about a young boy who's in an orphanage and he knows his parents are out there and he literally can hear the music in everything, the wind rustling in the leaves, in the city, everything. And he becomes a prodigy and creates his own orchestra, and there's a guitar player there that they picked up actually from the underground.
Huh.
This person plays the guitar along this way, and just exceptional music. And never mind the story, which is great, had Robin Williams in it as a baddie, fantastic music being played in there. But I think it was the message that there is music in everything because we're all looking for that vibe that connects to us, that lifts us up, that allows us to propel forward. So that music language needs to keep on going.
Well, that's why in the line, one of my favorite lines is close your eyes with a little smile,
Mm.
and I have the picture of the girl on the bus with the headphones listening to music and she's just smiling with her eyes
Mhm.
closed. And
Mhm.
so, I mean, if you look at that, it kind of tells the whole thing. I
Yes.
really did try to tell a story in a couple days on video with the song. So I hope everybody gets a chance to watch it and hear it.
Yes, and the album comes out when?
The album is released. Um, you can go to americangreed.hearnow.com and you can see us on everything there. Or you can go to YouTube. American Greed Together is the song, and you can watch the video. We've had about over 420,000 views on that. And we did reach #1 on the world indie charts. We did reach #1 on the Euro charts. So we are moving up.
Yes.
So that's pretty exciting stuff for us. And so I just hope we can keep it going.
The thing is too is that a lot of the time this kind of music would be a Bublé type song, or a John Legend type thing. That's the kind of song you would expect them to do. Um, Sorry, fighting a sneeze here.
Yes.
Um, but to have it with some of that rock and roll kind of grit is bringing it about in a different way. And yes, all that other music is wonderful. It speaks to our heart and it lifts us up. But have something that kind of is that gut punch, you know?
Well, and when I first wrote it, it was basically piano and vocals.
Mhm.
But that wasn't going to be it.
Right.
I meant, so sitting down with Matt and Matt's great arrangements, I meant we added that center power piece to it to bring
Hmm.
this in your face,
Hmm. Hmm.
So you have the sweet part and then you have the in your face
Yes.
part. I
Yeah.
meant,
The
so,
curling of the toes part.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what makes me proud about the whole
Yeah.
thing is to work with them and for them to bring their part to it and just make it what it is. I mean, I get excited listening to it. It's pretty
Yeah.
wild when you get to sit and listen to your own
Yeah.
song and you smiling and you're having fun. So it's pretty cool.
Yes. Um, I sometimes listen back to a show or read an article and realize I wrote it, right
Yeah,
in it,
right,
and it's the same type of thing because you had a dream, the words were in your head and you put them down, and in trust you shared them with others that didn't dominate with their input. Instead of that collaboration, that coming cohesively
right.
together, you created and brought it up into that bloom that transcended even what you envisioned. And that's really where that creativity and that artistry is when it's at its best.
Well, it's great that we get to do this, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. We're all artists in some form or other, right? Some people are authors. I'm an interviewer. Yeah, other people maybe singer, dancers, whatever we're doing, we are performing to a level. And if our heart and soul is in it, we will always love what we do.
right.
And whether you're a musician, whether you're a janitor, if you love what you're doing, if you've got pride in what you're doing, if it speaks to you, at the end of the day, you can feel proud, you can feel good about what you've done, then that really is the harmony that we're looking for within ourselves, isn't it?
And that is the perfect explanation to living the dream. Living
Yes.
the dream. I meant art. I asked Matt when you were writing that, what did it mean to you? And you just said it right there. So that is it. No matter what you do,
Yeah.
good or good or bad, if you're happy with that, then you're living the dream.
Yes. And you're quite honestly, with the massive amount of shows I've done and people that I've interviewed, really from very diverse backgrounds, and some people have had to face some awful atrocities in their life, but they were willing to go through the process and become what the thrival, the strength, the courage, and then who they are and what they've got to share afterwards is music to our ears. And we learn from that because inspiration begets invitation. And music is inspiring and it invites us to look at our own
Yes.
dialogue. It invites us to, why do I connect to that so much? What is it saying to me? Why does that
Right.
one line stick out at me? Because you are just inviting people to go in and reflect on themselves and what it means to them and what they then can do with their
Right.
own beautiful instrument.
Yeah.
Well, so March, you said end of March, April, the live performance will be coming out.
Yes, we're going to be. I wish I could tell you right now, but we have about 4 or 5 national TV shows in March.
Mm-hmm.
And then end of March, April, we'll be putting out on our website, our Facebook page, the dates for the live streaming, but it will be worldwide through a company that already does it internationally. So we're excited about everything coming out.
Mm. So people can find you on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at American Greed, Greed. They can find you on all four of those. And then, of course, you've got your YouTube.
Yes.
Um, your YouTube link. And do you have a website?
Well, it's americangreed.here now, HEARNOW now.com. So that, and then you can get to everything from there. But if you go to YouTube to watch the video together, all our links are there. And then I did send you all the links.
Yes.
So yep, they can find it from americangreed.herenow.com and at the video American Greed Together.
This is a video you want to share out with everyone. You know, when I have something that feels good, you know, oh, listen to this. This will lift your day up, right? This is what it's about. There's a big share button right there on the
Yes.
YouTube. Share it out across all of your mediums. Share it out to your friends. You know, not only is it that call to collaboration, it's something that speaks to every one of us, but it is that invitation. And if we share it out with everyone, we're doing each other a service. You know,
Right.
that invitation of how can we come together? And, you know, to realizing it's an inside job, you know, we have to go inside to bring out, but that we're not alone,
Right.
right? None of us are alone. Even if you're feeling alone right now, there's somebody out there that you can come together with and not feel that way.
Yeah. Well, I think if they watch the video, I hope it helps them feel
Yeah,
like they're not alone.
right.
So,
No, we're not. Even if you're standing alone right now,
right.
universal love is with you, you know, and everybody else in that vibration, just tap into that vibe and you will know that you're not alone. And music will do that for you. If you can't set your own
Yes.
frequency, listen to the music, it'll put you on
Yes.
that vibe, right?
Definitely.
So we're going to close out with the song, and I do encourage people to come back to the show, which is selfdiscoverymedia.com. All they have to do is just put in your name, Michael Mesey, and they will be able to actually see the video there as well, and all your other links. And please do send over the link when you are going to go and do your whole global thing, right? Because I'll
Yes,
add
I
it
sure
to the
will.
page.
Oh,
And
great.
thanks for writing a song right now that is that big invitation.
Well,
It's like great big huge arms coming around everyone, and we're desperate for hugs, you know, and it
well,
feels like a great big hug.
well, that makes me feel great, honestly. I hope everybody else feels that way too.
Well, thank you very much. So we're going to close out with the music, and folks, remember that, you know, whether it's this music or whether it's the words or whether it's the video, the visual, you know, take a listen, because somewhere along the line it's speaking to you, and you realize when it is speaking to you, you're not alone. And it also gives you the strength and the courage to be there for someone else. And we're
Right.
all in this together. We're all human beings, you know, having a divine experience on this beautiful gift of a planet. It's time we stopped fighting. It's time we come together and just be nice to one another. Give it a try.
Right. Let's
Right?
all listen to some music together. Yes.
Yes, exactly. And then just get up and dance and let your spirit free.
Right. Definitely.
Well, thank you
Well, I
so much,
really
Michael.
appreciate you having me today. Thank
My
you.
pleasure. My pleasure. It's always a guilty pleasure interviewing musicians,
Uh,
because I know that you're already coming from your heart and your soul.
uh,
You know, it is who you are, why you are, and what you are doing. And thank you very much for honoring your own gift
well, thank you.
and what it means to us. So, folks, please share this song far and wide. Go and buy the album. Go and see their site so you can see when this big performance is going to be happening. And let's just share the love, because that's what
Well,
togetherness is all about. So,
definitely.
thank you, Michael. And until
Th-
next time, folks, bye for now.
Sorry for the tears you cried. I wasn't by your side when you needed me. I couldn't be there. Sorry that I wasn't home. I left you all alone when you needed me. I couldn't be there.
We hope that you enjoyed the show. You will hear many shows here on selfdiscoverymedia.com. We have new shows for you out every week. Just find them on our podcast or What's New. If you feel that you have something to share that makes a difference in the lives of others, or you too feel that you could be a host, please contact me at info@selfdiscoverymedia.com and we will be glad to speak with you. Have a wonderful day.